Hello, I'm Scott Usla, Director of Development for the Sioux City Symphony Orchestra, and I'm joined by Ryan Haskins, our Music Director. We have some updates to share with you about the season and some things we've been working on these last couple months. Ryan, how you doing?
Great, thanks. Thanks for doing this, Scott.
My pleasure. Good to see you, and it's good to see all of our audience in some virtual form here, so it's exciting. We just engaged in Operation Orchestra and Mad About Opera. Can you give us some updates on how that worked out for us this last month?
Yeah, well, you know that we've been talking about relevancy and being in our community when times are a little more challenging, and actually getting out to the people is perhaps not thought of in the traditional sense. But for a lot of work being put into this project, it was such a grand success on so many different levels, bringing not only all of those musicians together, people from different time zones, different states, and just the energy that we were able to experience in that virtual way. I think it worked. We got a really incredible response from our community throughout the week, throughout Operation Orchestra and Mad About Opera. And it's all about innovation. You know, we have been exploring so many new and exciting ways, and I'm sure we'll talk about more in that advancement of innovation and technology that we just have to do these days. And it can be challenging and sometimes intimidating, but gosh, it's a lot of fun when you have so many creative people involved and a community that believes in you, pushing you forward. So it was a great success.
I totally agree. It definitely worked, and when you talk about challenging, I'm sure there was some challenges. So what can you share some of the challenges or secrets of behind the scenes that maybe people would be interested in hearing about?
Yeah, I mean, I won't go into the sleepless hour aspect and hiding the bags under my eyes throughout that those couple of months there. But it was a lot of editing. You know, the biggest challenge was bringing that Romeo and Juliet piece together with almost 40 musicians of the orchestra who all did so well and were so eager to participate, bringing that together, editing literally every note so that they all lined up with each other in the entire orchestra, then sending it to California for them to add their parts on top of it, because we wanted to do it as authentic as possible. We didn't want them to record, something before or use something that they had produced earlier. It was as authentic as we could have presented it, which made our jobs more difficult, of course, but that's okay, because in the end, once they send their track back and we were able to put everything together, it was really remarkable. And the comments, even on the musician level, when they were in the middle of the production or recording their parts and submitting them, I'm going to guess that most of them didn't really fully understand how everything was coming together. I won't say that I was thinking that a couple of days before, maybe a week, I was still wondering how it was still going to come together. But what an experience, and what a celebration. It just speaks to what we have going on at the symphony and that creative energy that seems to be thriving right now.
I agree, and I think that sort of creative energy, that community that everyone created, when everyone individual parts, when they all came together, that's where we get this magic that happens only with a symphony orchestra like the Sioux City Symphony. So congratulations on that. And speaking of that, we've had so many responses, positive, and people that had seen it would like to see it again, or people who were unable to see it would love to see an encore presentation about Mad About Opera. How can they do that? How can we let them?
Yeah, it's very, very exciting, and you're right. We have people who said, I forgot, or I want to see it again. Send me the link. Unfortunately, we can't just do that because all the involved, but we have decided to present this encore presentation on November 6th, Friday, November 6th at 7 p.m. And we'll essentially send out that information the same way that we sent out all of the Mad About Opera information on the premiere. So if you're watching this and have not received that information or have any questions, do call in, talk to Trinette. She'll get you straight away and make sure you're part of this exciting rebroadcast.
That's fantastic. Congratulations on that. I'm excited for everyone to see that again, that encore presentation, or those who haven't seen it will be able to see it. Before we close, I just wanted to, I know you're working on a lot of exciting things for 105th season, and the music must go on and the show goes on, and I think we're all working really hard. I think it's important to share with our audiences and donors and sponsors and those listening to us right now. Is there anything you can share, an update of what's coming up for the 105th season?
So the patience aspect to everything that's been involved really since March has been incredible. It's stretched us all in different ways to meet challenges, and we're still sort of in challenging times right now. But the patience to develop something authentic, something of the highest quality, and something that represents our organization, something we can be proud of. When we look back on this time, has been really, really a vital part of all of this, and how we move into a season. And so we understand that the community is ready for us. We're ready to put music back on the stage and to be able to return to the Orpheum Theater. We're coming up with some incredible programs that will not only bring live performance back to Sioux City and the region, but also expand our reach in the technology world, which again allows us to be connected into the community now, but expands that connection beyond this year and the months ahead. And it's really thrilling, again, on that creative spirit that we're all so lucky to be a part of. I don't know if people understand that, but I think even though we're sort of on the record now, not all arts organizations are like that. You know, arts come from a very, in some way, traditional build. They advance through time and evolve through time, and that's an exciting thing about art. But there are a lot of traditional sort of footsteps that we sometimes feel like we have to follow in. And breaking away from those traditions essentially is what we've had to do this year, and coming together for this exciting 105th season. So we're going to announce that season, as you know, on November 12th to the public. And I'll just say this, it really, I feel like we say this every year, but it will truly be a season unlike no other. I mean, truly, the repertoire, the music, the presentations, the way that we're presenting is so thrilling and exciting. And to have that excitement come out of the ashes of where we are right now, I think means so much more, at least for me personally. I know it does to the musicians, and I hope the community as well. It's going to be a season that relies on community, on every single part, us coming together and finding that music again so that we can keep singing, we can keep playing, and move past all this stuff, right? And return to what we love and we desire right now.
That's fantastic. Thank you so much, Ryan. I'm so inspired to be part of this community. We're so grateful for all the work you're doing as part of the community. We appreciate our board, our sponsors, our donors, and everyone listening to this. And we're excited for the encore presentation of Mad About Opera, as well as about our season announcements on November 12th. So thank you for joining me, Ryan. Thank you also, everyone else, for joining us. And we'll see you soon, and we'll keep in touch along the way. It's going to be a great journey. Thank you so much, Ryan.